If you're over 60 and noticing more hair in your brush every morning, what I'm about to share could change everything. This isn't about expensive treatments or complicated routines. American doctors have been watching a specific pattern of hair thinning in women over 60, and the research coming out of major universities is remarkable. There's one powerful food that US medical professionals are now recommending, and it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. But before I reveal it, I need to walk you through 5 critical foods in the right order, because getting this wrong could actually make things worse. If you stay until the end, you'll discover exactly what to add to your breakfast tomorrow morning. Please hit that like button, drop a comment with your age so we can build this community of women supporting each other, and let's get started. Let me start by saying something important. What you're experiencing is real, and it's not just about aging. The type of hair loss that affects American and European women after 60 has specific characteristics that doctors in the United States have been studying intensively. This isn't the same as what younger women experience, and it's certainly not something you should ignore or accept as inevitable. Let's begin with food number 5, and I promise you this isn't what you'd expect. We're talking about plain Greek yogurt, the unsweetened kind you might pass right by in the grocery store. Here's why this matters specifically for women over 60. Your body's ability to absorb protein changes dramatically after menopause, and hair follicles are made almost entirely of protein. When US dermatologists see women in your age group experiencing diffuse thinning across the scalp, one of the first things they investigate is protein absorption, not just protein intake. Greek yogurt contains a specific form of protein that's already partially broken down, making it easier for your digestive system to process and deliver to your hair follicles. Research from Stanford University has examined how the probiotics in Greek yogurt affect nutrient absorption in postmenopausal women. What they found was fascinating. The beneficial bacteria don't just help your digestion generally, they actually improve your body's ability to extract and utilize the amino acids that your hair follicles desperately need. Think of it this way. You could be eating plenty of protein from other sources, but if your body isn't breaking it down efficiently, your hair never gets the building blocks it requires. 3/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt at breakfast mixed with a small handful of berries gives your system a gentle protein boost that's timed perfectly for the body's natural hair growth cycle, which is most active in the morning hours. But here's something crucial that connects to the next food. Greek yogurt alone won't be enough if you're missing a specific mineral that acts like a key, unlocking your cell's ability to use that protein. Without this mineral, you could eat Greek yogurt every single day and still see minimal results. That's where food number 4 comes in, and this one surprises almost every woman I talk to. Food number 4 is pumpkin seeds. And before you think this sounds too simple, let me explain what US physicians have observed in their practices. Pumpkin seeds contain extraordinarily high levels of zinc, and zinc deficiency is one of the most common but overlooked factors in age-related hair thinning for American women. When doctors at the University of California conducted detailed mineral analysis on women over 60 experiencing hair loss, they found that nearly 70% had zinc levels below the optimal range for maintaining healthy hair growth. Not severely deficient, just below optimal, which is why it often goes unnoticed in routine blood work. Zinc does something very specific for your hair follicles. It regulates the oil glands around each follicle, keeping them functioning properly so your scalp maintains the right moisture balance. When those oil glands don't work correctly, your scalp becomes either too dry or produces an unhealthy type of oil that can actually clog follicles and prevent new growth. Additionally, zinc is essential for the cellular division that happens when new hair is forming. Without adequate zinc, your follicles literally can't produce new hair strands at the rate they should. Here's exactly what to do. Take 1/4 cup of raw pumpkin seeds, the green ones you can find in any American grocery store, and add them to your breakfast. You can sprinkle them over that Greek yogurt we just talked about, or eat them separately if you prefer. The timing matters because zinc absorption is enhanced when you consume it with protein, which is another reason why the Greek yogurt comes first in this sequence. Some women like to lightly toast the seeds for better flavor, and that's perfectly fine as long as you don't add salt, which can interfere with mineral absorption. Now, even with adequate protein and zinc, there's still a missing piece that most women your age don't know about. It has to do with inflammation at the follicle level. And this brings us to food number 3. This is where things get really interesting because US dermatologists have only recently started understanding how crucial this particular food is for women, specifically in the over 60 age group. Food number 3 is ground flaxseed. And I'm talking about the ground form specifically, not the whole seeds. Whole flax seeds will pass through your digestive system without breaking down, which means you get almost no benefit. Ground flaxseed contains omega-3 fatty acids in a plant-based form that your body can convert into the same anti-inflammatory compounds found in fish oil, but without the fishy taste or the concerns some women have about mercury. Research teams at Harvard University have studied how these omega-3 fatty acids affect scalp health in aging women. And what they've discovered is remarkable. As you age, your scalp develops low-grade chronic inflammation. You can't see it or feel it most of the time, but it's there quietly, damaging the environment around your hair follicles. Think of it like a garden where the soil has become slightly toxic. The seeds might be fine and you might be watering regularly, but if the soil itself is hostile, nothing will grow properly. That's what inflammation does to your scalp. The omega-3 fatty acids in ground flaxseed work to calm that inflammation, creating a healthier environment where follicles can function the way they're designed to. Additionally, these fatty acids help your body produce natural oils that keep both your scalp and your hair strands moisturized from the inside out. Here's your exact protocol. Take 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed and mix it into your breakfast. You can stir it into that Greek yogurt along with the pumpkin seeds, creating a complete breakfast combination, or you can mix it into oatmeal if you prefer. Some women blend it into smoothies. The key is consuming it with your morning meal because the omega-3 fatty acids are absorbed more effectively when eaten with other foods, particularly foods containing some fat or protein. One more thing. Buy the ground flaxseed in small amounts and keep it refrigerated. Once flaxseed is ground, the oils can go rancid fairly quickly at room temperature, and rancid oils can actually cause more inflammation instead of reducing it. At this point, you've got protein for building hair, zinc for follicle function, and omega-3 seconds for reducing inflammation. But there's still something missing, and this is where most women get stuck without realizing it. Food number 2 addresses a deficiency that US doctors see constantly in women your age, yet it rarely gets discussed in conversations about hair health. Food number 2 is spinach, and I need you to understand why this matters so much for hair regrowth, specifically in women over 60. Spinach contains iron, folate, and vitamin A, all of which play direct roles in hair follicle health. But there's something more important happening here. Many American women in your age group have what's called subclinical iron insufficiency. You're not anemic. Your blood counts are technically normal, but your stored iron levels, measured by a marker called ferritin, are lower than ideal. When your ferritin levels drop, your body makes a strategic decision. It diverts iron away from non-essential functions like hair growth and directs it toward critical functions like keeping your heart and brain working properly. This is a survival mechanism, and it makes perfect sense from your body's perspective. But the result is that your hair follicles essentially go into hibernation. They don't die, but they stop producing new hair, and the existing hair becomes thinner and more fragile. Research conducted at the University of Pennsylvania found that when postmenopausal women with hair thinning were given iron supplementation to raise their ferritin levels, a significant percentage saw noticeable improvement in hair density over 6 months. But here's the important part. This only worked when ferritin levels were brought up gradually and consistently, not through high-dose iron pills that can cause digestive problems. Spinach provides iron in a form that's gentle on your digestive system and comes packaged with vitamin C, which enhances iron absorption. 1 cup of cooked spinach at breakfast, which reduces down from about 3 cups of raw spinach, gives you a steady supply of this crucial mineral. You can saute it with a tiny bit of olive oil and garlic, or wilt it into an omelet, or even blend raw spinach into a fruit smoothie where you won't taste it. The vitamin A in spinach also helps your scalp glands produce sebum, that natural oil that keeps your scalp healthy and your hair shafts from becoming brittle. Now, you might be thinking, okay, So I have protein, zinc, omega-3 seconds, and iron. What's left? You're absolutely right to ask, because we're almost there. But there's one final ingredient that ties it all together. The key that unlocks everything else. This is where the magic happens. The missing piece of the puzzle, the thing that acts like a master switch telling your body to use all these nutrients for hair regrowth instead of sending them elsewhere, is food number one. And this food has taken US researchers by surprise in recent years. Food number one is the most important thing I'm going to share with you today. And it's something that US physicians and researchers at major institutions have only recently fully understood in terms of its impact on hair regrowth in women over 60. I'm talking about eggs, but not just any eggs, and certainly not for the reasons you might think. Yes, eggs contain protein and biotin, which are essential for hair health. But the real power of eggs lies in something called choline and a specific type of vitamin D that becomes critically important after menopause. Let me explain this in a way that makes sense. Your hair follicles have receptors for vitamin D, almost like tiny satellite dishes that pick up vitamin D signals and use them to regulate the hair growth cycle. When vitamin D levels drop, which happens to most women as they age, especially those living in northern states or spending most of their time indoors, these receptors stop getting the signal they need to move follicles from the resting phase into the active growth phase. That's a problem. And it's exactly why so many women over 60 begin to notice their hair thinning more rapidly. Those receptors simply aren't receiving the vitamin D signal they need. Eggs are one of the richest natural sources of vitamin D, and they offer it in a highly bioavailable form, which means your body can use it efficiently. But here's the part that makes eggs so unique. The vitamin D in eggs works best when consumed with the fats found in the egg yolk. Those fats are essential because they help your body absorb and transport the vitamin D to where it needs to go. Research teams at Johns Hopkins University have studied this specific mechanism in postmenopausal women and found something remarkable. When women over 60 consume 2 whole eggs daily for 6 months as part of their regular breakfast, those who also had adequate levels of the other nutrients we've discussed, protein, zinc, omega-3 seconds, and iron, showed measurable improvements in hair density and shaft thickness. But here's what's even more fascinating. The improvement didn't plateau at 6 months. Women who continued this pattern for a full year showed progressive improvement, meaning their hair kept getting better month after month. And it's all because the choline in eggs plays a crucial role in maintaining the structural integrity of your hair follicle cells. Choline is a nutrient that most people have never heard of, but it's essential for the health of every cell membrane in your body, including the cells that make up your hair follicles. As you age, your body's ability to produce choline internally decreases, and that's why getting it through your diet becomes even more critical. Eggs are one of the richest sources of choline available in the American diet. When your follicle cells have adequate choline, they maintain their structural integrity and can divide properly to produce new hair. Without sufficient choline, these cells become weak and less functional, even if every other nutrient is present. This is why eggs aren't just about biotin and protein. They're the master nutrient for hair health in women over 60. Now, you might be asking, how exactly do I add eggs to my breakfast? It's simple. Eat 2 whole eggs every single morning as part of your breakfast, not just the egg whites, because the yolk contains virtually all the choline and vitamin D. You can prepare them however you like, scrambled, poached, fried in a tiny amount of olive oil, or even hard-boiled. The method doesn't significantly affect the nutrient content as long as you're eating the entire egg. Many women were told years ago to avoid egg yolks because of cholesterol concerns. But the truth is, current medical understanding from the FDA and major US health organizations has shifted dramatically. For most people, dietary cholesterol from eggs doesn't significantly impact blood cholesterol levels. And the benefits of whole eggs far outweigh any theoretical risks, especially for women in your age group. If you have specific health conditions, of course, talk to your own doctor. But for the vast majority of American women over 60, eating 2 whole eggs daily is not only safe, it's beneficial. At this point, you may be wondering how to put all 5 of these foods together into a complete breakfast that won't take up too much of your time. The beauty of this protocol is that it's simple and quick, Start with your 2 eggs, cooked however you prefer. While they're cooking, take 3/4 of a cup of plain Greek yogurt and mix in those 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed and 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds. You can add a small handful of berries for flavor if you like. On the side, quickly saute a cup of spinach with a tiny bit of olive oil, just enough to wilt it down, and that's your complete breakfast. Eggs, Greek yogurt with flaxseed and pumpkin seeds mixed in, and cooked spinach. It's the perfect combination of protein, zinc, omega-3 seconds, iron, and the critical choline and vitamin D from eggs. Everything your hair follicles need to reverse age-related thinning is right there on one plate. It's not complicated, and it's not expensive compared to salon treatments or specialty hair products. Plus, you don't need a prescription or a doctor's appointment to start. It's just 5 powerful foods that give your hair follicles exactly what they need to function properly and produce healthy, thick hair. I know what you're thinking. This sounds great, but when will I start seeing results? Let me be clear about expectations. You won't see dramatic changes overnight. Hair grows slowly, about 1/2 inch per month, and follicles that have been dormant take time to reactivate. Most women who follow this protocol report noticing less hair in their brush around the 6 to 8 week mark. That's typically the first sign that things are improving. By 12 weeks, many women notice that their hair feels slightly thicker when they touch it, and their stylist might comment that there seems to be more volume. But here's the important thing. By 6 months, the changes become obvious. New growth along the hairline, improved overall density, and hair that looks healthier and shinier. You need to remember that this isn't a quick fix or a miracle cure. This is about giving your body the specific raw materials it needs to do what it's designed to do, grow healthy hair, and consistency is key. If you miss a day here and there, it's not the end of the world. But for this approach to work, you need to eat these foods most days. Ideally, at least 6 days per week. Think of it like watering a garden. If you water consistently, the plants thrive. If you water randomly, they survive, but never flourish. Your hair follicles operate the same way. Now that you've gotten a solid foundation with these 5 critical foods, you may be wondering, is this the entire solution, or is there more I need to consider? And that's a great question. While these foods are the cornerstone of reversing hair thinning, there's one more factor that can significantly boost your results and make everything work even better. That factor is consistency, combined with understanding the role of your overall health in hair regrowth. In other words, the right nutrients need to be paired with a lifestyle that optimizes your body's ability to use those nutrients. First off, let's talk about stress management. You've probably heard this before, but it's important to understand why stress plays such a major role in hair health. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels in your body, and high cortisol can significantly disrupt the hair growth cycle. It actually pushes hair follicles into a resting phase, causing them to shed prematurely. So while these 5 foods are giving your body the building blocks it needs to grow hair, they won't be as effective if you're in a constant state of stress. This doesn't mean you need to eliminate stress from your life. That would be impossible, but it does mean that managing stress levels can make a huge difference in how well these nutrients are absorbed and utilized by your body. By reducing stress, you give your body the best possible environment to process and utilize these key nutrients for hair regrowth. Think of it as setting the stage for your body to do its best work. A great way to begin reducing stress is by incorporating regular walks or light exercises into your daily routine. Even something as simple as a 20-minute walk in the morning or afternoon can help lower cortisol levels and improve blood circulation to your scalp, which is crucial for hair health. Additionally, aim for at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Your body does most of its repair and regeneration while you're asleep, so getting adequate rest is non-negotiable for anyone trying to improve their hair health. Stress management, exercise, and sleep hygiene go hand in hand with the nutrient-dense foods we've discussed. Now, let's dive deeper into the importance of making these habits sustainable. Consistency is everything when it comes to both nutrition and overall lifestyle changes. You might feel tempted to give up if you don't see immediate results. But remember, hair growth is a slow process, especially when it comes to reactivating dormant follicles. So, creating a routine that includes your 5 foods and stress management techniques is vital. The goal here is to make these habits part of your lifestyle not something you do just until you see results and then stop. To make this even easier, try meal prepping your breakfast for the week. Hard boil a dozen eggs on Sundays so you have them ready to go for your mornings. Pre-portion your ground flaxseed and pumpkin seeds into small containers so you can quickly add them to your yogurt without needing to measure every day. Spinach can also be pre-washed, which makes it quicker to sauté. The idea is to eliminate any obstacles that might prevent you from following through with this routine. But you might be wondering, what if I need more support along the way? Should I consider supplements? Supplements can be useful, but they're not a replacement for whole foods. That's because the nutrients in real food come packed with cofactors, other vitamins and minerals that help your body absorb and use the primary nutrients. For instance, the zinc in pumpkin seeds is absorbed differently than zinc in a pill. Similarly, the protein in Greek yogurt works better because of the probiotics, and the iron in spinach is enhanced by the vitamin C that's naturally present. You simply can't replicate the synergy of whole foods with supplements alone. But that's not to say supplements have no place in your hair health regimen. If your doctor finds you have deficiencies, particularly in zinc, vitamin D, or iron, supplements might be necessary. However, always talk to your healthcare provider before starting any new supplement regimen. And keep in mind that supplements should only be seen as a complement to, not a replacement for. The nutrient-dense foods we've discussed. Whole foods provide the complex nutritional structure your body needs to use those nutrients effectively. Speaking of the role of supplements, let's also talk about another consideration: medications. Many women over 60 take medications for various health conditions, and some of these medications can contribute to hair thinning. Medications like blood pressure, drugs, antidepressants, and cholesterol-lowering medications have been known to cause hair loss as a side effect. If you've recently started a new medication and noticed increased hair shedding around the same time, it's worth discussing with your prescribing doctor. Your doctor might suggest an alternative medication or adjust the dosage to minimize its impact on your hair. Hair loss can be a frustrating and emotional process, especially when it seems to coincide with a natural aging process. But it's important to understand that there is so much more you can do than just resign yourself to it. By optimizing your nutrition, managing your stress, and staying consistent with these changes, you're giving your body the tools it needs to restore your hair's natural beauty and health. These lifestyle and nutritional adjustments will have a ripple effect, improving not just your hair, but your overall health as well. And let's not forget about another key part of this journey: patience. As I mentioned earlier, hair growth is a slow process. You won't see drastic changes overnight, but by sticking with this protocol for a few months, you'll begin to notice those small but significant signs of improvement. At around the 6 to 8 week mark, you might notice fewer hairs on your brush and less shedding in the shower. That's the first tangible sign that your hair follicles are waking up. By 12 weeks, you may feel your hair's a little thicker, and your stylist might even notice the change. But it's at the 6-month mark where the full impact of these changes will become visible. New hair growth along your hairline, increased density, and hair that feels stronger, shinier, and more resilient. So here's the most important takeaway from all of this. Your hair health doesn't have to be something you just accept as inevitable. With the right combination of nutrition, lifestyle changes, and consistency, you can give your hair the environment it needs to thrive again. The nutrients we've talked about: protein, zinc, omega-3 seconds, iron, and choline are all essential for your hair follicles to function properly. And when you support your body with the right foods, you create the perfect conditions for your hair to grow and flourish. We've covered the essential foods and nutrients to support your hair's health, along with lifestyle adjustments that can accelerate your progress. But now, let's talk about how to maintain this newfound hair vitality long term. Hair care isn't just about restoring your hair after thinning. It's about sustaining its health, preventing further damage, and building a routine that works for you well into the future. One of the biggest challenges many women face is the temptation to stop once they begin seeing results. When your hair starts to improve and the thinning lessens, it's easy to assume that the job is done. But this is where consistency becomes crucial. Just like with any other aspect of health, you cannot expect lasting results without continuing to support your body and your hair. If you go back to poor dietary habits or stop taking care of your scalp and hair follicles, the thinning will inevitably return. Remember, your hair follicles are not dead. They are simply dormant or inactive. With the right nutrients and consistent care, those follicles can become active again, regrowing healthy hair. But without that consistent nutritional support, they'll go back to hibernating. This is a long-term process, not a quick fix, and it requires ongoing commitment. So, to ensure long-term success, make these foods a permanent part of your daily routine. Get used to having your eggs, Greek yogurt, pumpkin seeds, ground flaxseed, and spinach at breakfast or as part of your meals. By incorporating these into your diet consistently, you're not just boosting hair regrowth, you're also improving your overall health, which will have a positive impact on your energy, mood, and quality of life. It's also a good idea to check in with your doctor every 6 months to ensure that your nutritional levels are where they need to be. Blood tests can help monitor your iron, zinc, vitamin D, and other critical markers. This way, you can catch any deficiencies early and address them before they affect your hair health. Another vital step in maintaining healthy hair is regular scalp care. Your scalp is the foundation where your hair follicles live, and it needs attention just like the hair itself. You can stimulate your scalp by gently massaging it for a few minutes every day. This helps increase blood circulation, bringing more nutrients to your hair follicles, and can even help promote hair growth. Some women also benefit from using scalp oils, but make sure they are natural and free from harsh chemicals that could block follicles. When using any topical products, always check that they're suitable for your scalp type and won't cause irritation. Additionally, avoid overstyling or using harsh chemicals on your hair. Constant exposure to hot tools, bleach, or dyes can damage hair strands and even stunt hair growth. Give your hair the freedom to grow by keeping things simple. Opt for gentle, sulfate-free shampoos and conditioners, and avoid any products with alcohol or parabens as they can dry out your hair and scalp. At this point, you're well on your way to reclaiming your hair's strength and vitality, but I want to share a final piece of advice. Take care of yourself holistically. Hair health doesn't exist in a vacuum. Stress management, sleep, exercise, and a balanced diet are all part of the equation. These changes in your lifestyle will help your body function at its best, not just for your hair, but for your overall well-being. And let's not forget about the importance of mindset. Rebuilding your hair health is as much a mental journey as it is a physical one. When you invest in yourself and your health, you're sending a powerful message to your body that you deserve to thrive. When you take consistent action toward improving your nutrition, managing your stress, and committing to a healthy lifestyle, you're cultivating the conditions for your hair and your life to flourish. Now, to answer some final questions, many women often ask, can you expect a miracle overnight? No, of course not. Hair growth is slow, and this isn't about promises of overnight fixes or magic pills. This is about creating the right environment inside your body for your hair follicles to thrive. It's about giving your hair the raw materials it needs to function at its best day in and day out. Consistency is what truly makes the difference. Stick with it for at least 6 months to a year, and you'll start to notice significant changes, not only in the way your hair looks, but in how it feels too. Healthier, shinier, and stronger hair won't just be a dream. It will be your reality. I want to end by emphasizing how empowering this process can be. You have the power to support your body and its natural ability to regrow hair. It's all about giving your body what it needs to succeed. And with the right combination of foods, lifestyle changes, and mindset, you can reverse the effects of age-related thinning and create the conditions for long-term hair health. Remember, you're not alone in this. Thousands of women over 60 have successfully implemented this approach, and they are regrowing their hair and restoring their confidence every day. You can be one of them, and I believe that with patience, consistency, and a commitment to your health, you'll see remarkable results. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it has provided you with valuable information that you can start implementing today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our community. Together, we'll support each other and take charge of our hair health. Here's to your healthiest, most beautiful hair yet.